Hey y'all, it's Bagg Lady J. I'm back with the Bagg Talk. So y'all, I'm on this journey of doing podcasting and just getting my videos out there and everything. A little background about myself is that I went through this whole pandemic, like the whole COVID situation. I went through that whole pandemic just doing interviews with people, hearing people's stories, and I lost my damn flash drive, my SD card, all my videos got deleted. So I'm basically pretty much starting over from square one. And I'm proud of the videos I have put out, the short form videos I put out, and the advice videos I have put out. But I just want to start over and do something different. Let's see how that goes. I'm going to be doing story times. I'm going to be doing stories with people from Detroit. You know Detroit, y'all. Y'all know Detroit. Like, we're going to be doing stories of people, just giving advice, telling their story about what they've been through. Because my ultimate goal is just to bring, first of all, notoriety to the city, because we work hard as hell. Like, we worked so hard for so long, and I really want to get those stories out there. And also to bring awareness to the gap in, like, education, wealth, and different resources that I feel like as a people we haven't been awarded. So that's my ultimate goal, is just to bring awareness to financial literacy and the lack thereof in certain communities, which one of them is, the communities I grew up in, which are in Detroit, Highland Park, Palmer Park, a predominantly black city. So that's mainly what I want to talk about, but I want to do it in a way to where I can relate, and I feel like a big part of that is just including the updated current events that's going on and relating them to the bag, and also just, getting a lesson out of everything that we do, because the whole purpose is to move people forward. Like, as a people, white, black, rich, poor, whatever, I just want people to be able to understand and learn, and also hear other people's stories and learn through that. So we gonna do this and see where it goes and see what happens, y'all. So on today's agenda, I want to speak about recent events that have been going on in the black community, of course. Shaderoom, right there. There we go. Get your ring, sis. Data shows marriage rates are up and divorce rates are down. And I feel like they really have been listening to their audience, because a lot of people have been going on the Shade Room. So I really do appreciate the fact that they have been showing an attempt to change the narrative a little bit. They doing their big one, they listening. And I love that. I love that these companies are paying attention to, like, the marketing that they have and listening to what the people got to say. And that's why I think it's so important for me to bring people on my podcast where they tell their stories, because people got to know, like, it's a whole different life that people live based on demographics, based on intelligence, based on information, based on just so many different factors, race, just different things. And I feel like the more I go to school, the more we talk about it. And I also want to incorporate this in my music too, because I talk about getting to a bag, but I want to talk about, like, long-term generational wealth and things that we can do in order to become successful. And yeah, that's just been my whole life purpose, my whole goal with everything that I do. Because y'all know I ain't got no damn job. I'm really just going through life as an entrepreneur, and I want to use the things that I've learned in order to teach other people and to be able to, I don't want this shit to go in vain. Like, I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this for the future generations, for the people that's coming up after me. I want them to look back and say, like, oh, my auntie, she was out here, but she wasn't only out here, she was also letting people know, like, what's going on to prepare the next generation. Because the more I study wealth, I'm realizing that a lot of wealth literally comes from people just applying the same formula. Like, I was watching this video with Bossie. I'm going to insert a clip. Hopefully they don't copyright that shit. But I was watching the video with Bossie where he was basically talking about how his son, he was on the Breakfast Club, and he was speaking about, like, how he wanted his son to get the same fade that he had, but his son was just, like, so against it, and he was coming into, like, his individuality and everything. And on one hand, I feel like, as a woman, I would want my child to express themselves the way they want to express themselves, but I 100% am starting to understand where men come from with that traditional mindset, because if you built so much in your family, like, you already figured out the blueprint, you already got the formula together. Why would somebody go and do a different formula if your dad and your family already did all this to become rich? So that's what I mean by, like, I don't want my work to go in vain, because I really enjoy doing this, but I also want it to last a long time, like, past me, past my life, past my, my grandkids, in a far, 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 far future. But I just think that's important to take those things into account, because even the way that we provide information on social media, like, this information gonna get out either way. And I've battled with that for a long time, where I went back and forth about, like, okay, is this something I really want to speak on or put out there? But then I realized, like, the shit's already out there. Like, with Sexy Red and, certain music, we were like, oh, we don't really want the kids to hear it, but they're going to hear it anyway. And I think it's important about how we react to it and how we as adults are able to let them know, like, hey, this is a whole different world from a child's mindset. And it's okay to say stay in the kid's fucking place. And I'm realizing that, as adults, we do a lot of things. And I feel like, there's a fine line between, somebody just said this in an interview too. It was Destin Troyce. He was saying, like, between being secretive and being private. I believe a lot of things should be private. Like, when we get on here and we talk about certain things, even certain stuff Bossie say is kind of like, but I feel like a lot of things kids need to know, but they still need to know to where they can adapt it at a child's level. We don't have to, give them everything at once, but this stuff is out here and we do have to make them aware of what's going on. And personally, I've been going through that with like the children in my family that are around me. Like, I've took the filter off because I've realized they're going to see this anyway. The TikToks, the things that they're showing me, like, and I love TikTok. I'm addicted to it too, y'all, like everybody else. I ain't gonna cap. But I feel like if we try to hide this from them, then they just get the information somewhere else, and they don't really respect you, because it's like now social media is raising your kids and you're not giving them the tools on when they encounter these things. Instead of saying if, now it's a win, because they're gonna see Sexy Red, they're gonna see the shit on the internet, they're gonna see it anyway. So now it's about really just giving them the tools to know, like, hey, that's how that person expresses themselves, but that's not how you have to express yourself. We go see the shit all day. I see ass clapping on my timeline all day. Like, I see all type of crazy stuff. And me personally, I'll look at stuff like when certain females post certain pics and stuff. The old me when I was younger, I was like, oh my God, because I was very impressionable. But now as a grown ass woman, I literally be like, oh my God, I love that for her, because she's working on her body goals. And I understand as a woman now the difference between like looking at something and be like, oh, this person just trying to be like that, and understanding like a lot of these women are proud of themselves. Like, they posting these pics and they loving their body, and I love that for them. And I appreciate that. And I just think that the mindset is important. It's not really about what you post and what you do. I think it's about your mindset behind it. Like, are you doing this to impress people, or are you genuinely proud of yourself and you want to show that shit off and flex about it? That's okay too. Like, I feel like as long as it's not hurting nobody else, just like my little niece, I told her, like, if you go be on TikTok every day, make us some money, girl. Make us some money. Like, do not be on there on TikTok just watching other people getting them rich, liking stuff. Like, it's good to support people, but at the same time, take notes when you're looking at this stuff and you see somebody blow up and you may be like, oh my God, that's crazy. Before you react, you got to understand this is all about marketing. So whether you react bad or good, they're still making money, so it doesn't matter. And I think that that's like the mindset that a lot of people are going into it now as they grow. And I'm starting to understand that too, because it's like, why sit here and fight the game when the formula has already been duplicated so many times? And if it's proven to work and you can ride that wave, you better grab your surfboard and hop on that motherfucker. And that don't necessarily mean follow people, because I'm far from a follower. I just think that means adapt to certain things and how things are moving at a faster pace. And I think that that's the difference within the community and within the generations, because I sit down and talk to so many people that are older than me. I'm 23. I talk to a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and my dad, he's 68. And the mindset is different. They moved out of survival to where it's like, okay, you go to college, you get a degree. It's this one way of doing things. But now we have the younger generation. They like, fuck that. We not doing that. Like, I'll be damned if I go and work at somebody's factory. Well, back in the day, you can retire with $1 million if you give your life to the factory, and your kids can have a decent life and they can have a house and they don't have to worry about nothing. But now and then the middle-aged people are kind of like, they see a little bit of both. Like, you see the grannies on TikTok. People like my mom age, she 55. She'll hop on TikTok because she funny as hell. And it just have this I don't give a fuck attitude. Like, I've lived life. I've seen both. And, if they can capitalize off of it, they not mad at it, And I really appreciate that. And I want to bring those different perspectives just about life, just about, like, where we're from and everything we're doing. I want to bring that to my podcast and give that information, because I think that it can help everybody. Like, no matter where you at in life, I feel like it's always more to learn. Like, it's always so much more that you can take from life. Look at the people around you and take the things that you like from them. Not necessarily to copy them, because I know how you bitches get. Not necessarily to copy them. Not necessarily to be like, you shouldn't be envious of people. You shouldn't be like, oh, I want their whole life, because, girl, I have experienced a lot of that. Like, just me, I'm 23 years old. I've been living on my own since I was 16. So many people have did things to me where it's like, I mean, they didn't touch me, so they didn't do nothing to me. But I done seen so many people duplicate things that I've done without, like, actually acknowledging where it came from and being, and they kind of just trying to take your whole personality and your swag. But in this day and age, it's like a copy-paste society, and I think that's perfectly fine if you're making money from it. Now, if you're just doing it for no reason, and you just out here like, you genuinely are living off that attention, you should seek a therapist, because you need to be in the bag. You need to be running up some numbers or something, because we live in a day and age to where you could know people that don't even know that they have certain talents because they never really just turned on the camera and start talking and start, letting people know, like, hey, this is something I'm interested in. I'm putting my personality out there. I'm letting you motherfuckers know, it's a bag to be made. And y'all know I'm all about the bag. That's what I'm about. And I love it. And that's how I've been able to maneuver through just different things without having a job. I haven't worked since I was 16. And when I did work at 16, I worked at McDonald's for 2 fucking weeks before they fired me. They rehired me, and then I quit. So I'm telling you this from experience. Like, I've been just maneuvering life for the past 9 years officially. Like, I mean, that's 8 years, but it's coming up on 9 years. Like, I'll be 24 this year. So, Jesus. Okay. But yeah, I'll be 24 this year. That sounds absolutely insane. Yeah, I was kind of trying to stop at 21. Like, I just wanted to be 21 so bad. But I want my car insurance to go down, though. So that's why I'm kind of like, okay, 25, and then you kind of pushing it. For me, then I'm kind of pushing it. Because after 26, you offer your parents insurance. So I just think stuff like that is just so important. And I just want to educate other people to learn how to plan your life accordingly and to learn from other people's fuck ups and other people's mistakes. I think that's the best thing I've done in life, because I done seen my family go through so much. I got a family full of alcoholics, y'all. They will get on this podcast and tell y'all, like, grab them a beer and put on a camera, because it's going to be a show, like, for real. And I've learned so much about what the fuck not to do. And that's what I just want to bring for y'all. Like, I want to bring, because our people are so self-aware. Like, I have not met a person yet that wasn't able to reflect on their story, given a safe space in the right conditions, in the right environment, and maybe a little drinky drink. But I haven't met a person yet that wasn't able and willing to, like, really reflect on their life and their story and understand and really just talk to me about how they overcame things and just was able to reflect in things that they did right, things they did wrong, and just passing on that knowledge. And I feel like as a community, there needs to be a space for that. Like, it needs to be a space where, bitch, if I want to come talk and share my feelings and speak my mind, I should be able to do that. And I think that's why people love YouTube and TikTok so much, is because it's a place where people can do that. Because back in the old days, you see a therapist, bitch, you're crazy. Like, you got an issue. Something's wrong with you. Like, you're on paper is crazy. And it kind of became the status symbol of like, oh, bet I can get away with certain shit because I'm on papers crazy. But now this generation already is understanding that you don't have to be crazy to seek help. Like, it doesn't have to be this whole, like, drawn out insane asylum type situation. It's literally sometimes like, hey, insurance pay for it, I'll get a therapist, fuck it, and that's how I was, honestly. I mean, I started off on BetterHelp. I was like, okay, this is more than my car insurance, this is more than my light bill, let me check into my other resources. I called my insurance, they like, yeah, we got like 50 therapists you can see. Cool. So sometimes I think that it's important to just know certain information, and I think that we should be able to pass on that information so that we all can just provide a better quality of living for ourselves. And I think that's so important. That's my whole goal. I just want to provide a better quality of living for myself. So yeah, that's my reintroduction to my platform and what I want to do. But I do want to speak on at least a few of these stories real quick, because we gonna talk about it, y'all. I just had to get that off my chest. It's so much. It's so much. Oh, man, they really are starting to post so much positive stuff. I truly love that. They said Fantasia delivers emotional speech as she accepts a NAACP Award for Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture. Period. Congratulations, Queen. We love that. Damson Idris gives special shout out to his mom and Denzel Washington as he accepts the NAACP Award. We love it, King. Yes. We love a black king. Oh, yes, Taraji, you deserve that. Yes, period. As she should. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. So I want to talk about putting the kids on social media. I just want to say I believe in child labor. Put the motherfuckers to work. They sitting around on the tablet all day. They should be making some money. That's just how I feel about it. I'm sorry. I told my cousin and she was like, we don't really need baby therapists and baby factory operators and stuff. And I'm like, bitch, yes, we do. It's like, I'm playing. No. But no, for real. So my understanding is like, okay, You see a lot of people work like their whole life, break their back and be messed up because they just work their whole life just to get a little bit of what a lot of people get from like just expressing their personality and stuff, which I love that we're moving forward with that. But I see it all the time. Like, I live in a community full of like people who own businesses, and in their cultures, these multicultural, and I'm living in a multicultural in a very diverse area. Where I live at, like, they believe in that shit. A baby washed my car the other day. Like, this child was like 7. Like, and the man literally told me, he was like, yeah, that's the owner's son. When he's here, I don't got to do shit. I was like, okay, period. And he was really like, he was like a grown ass adult. Like, he knew what he was doing. He wasn't being hurt, you know. But I do think as adults, we have to be wary about certain things and conditions. Like, you ain't about to work no baby for 8 hours. And that bitch that had that baby waxing the pussies, you're weird. And you need to be in jail for that, for real. Because that's where I think education comes in, because survival is one thing. Like, okay, we got to survive out here, but ain't no baby should be waxing no coochie. Why is this baby? Like, a part of me wanted to say, like, okay, we all came out of a vagina. Like, at this point, we need to stop sexualizing vagina as much as we do. Like, I know it's good. Like, God snapped when he made pussy. He snapped. Like, we would not be here, y'all. Think about it. Like, come on now, because you do have a uterus. Like, we live in a uterus, but then we come out the vagina, and then you got the actual moon is what is it called? I don't know. It looked like money, but we got so many different components. But I think we need to stop sexualizing it, because at the end of the day, the fact is it's a sexual reproduction organ. Like, I think that we take things that are pleasurable to us and people kind of make them into something else, when at the end of the day, a vagina is a vagina. Like, it's not, you feel me? But you're a bitch, you crossed the fucking line. Like, that wasn't even, you know. And I think that's where education comes in, because in her mind, she probably, I don't fucking know, because I wouldn't have no baby do no shit like that. But that was some sick shit. Honestly, I just can't even get past it. But I did try to think about it, you know, in different ways. And I did feel like, you know, people do sexualize things a lot. The baby shouldn't have been doing that. I want to make that very clear. I cannot stress that enough. But I do think that we kind of teeter the lines as well, because we always make vagina pussy. Like, we make it this thing for just solely pleasure, not realizing, like, bro, none of y'all would be here. We all came out of a vagina. Like, vagina. Y'all have to stop making it into like this thing where it's like, oh my god, it's a pussy. Like, you know. And I you know, I feel like there is power in that as a woman. You know, don't get it twisted. As a woman, like, yes, I do believe in like the understanding the power that it holds, because it births life. And I think that when we tie these things to it, that makes it like this separate thing from ourselves in a way. I don't know. I just think it's the embodiment of a woman, period. Like, we can give life. We can give birth. We have uteruses. We have fucking fallopian tubes. We carry fucking 1 million eggs. Like, that's crazy, you know. And I don't know. I just think that education is important, because if you don't have the education, but you're in a state of survival, you'll do anything to make it. And I think that this was a perfect example of that, because that girl really was like, we're passing down D's and LLCs. And it's like, bitch, you're open legs and waxing trees, because that was weird. And I think that was like a perfect example of a state of survival. Like, people will do anything in survival. Like, babies be at the corner store selling weed. Like, I'm talking about 12-year-olds at the store selling weed. And I think that's actually worse, to be honest. And I do blame the people that actually got waxed too. I do think that was very weird, because I cannot imagine no baby doing that to me. I get a wax faithfully. And girl, if I walked in there and saw the baby, I would have walked out and called the police. But I do think that it's important to understand that state of survival and that mindset, because you would never think that something like this would happen, but it actually happens every day. There's literally kids in Africa right now building iPhones. Thank y'all. But it's really kids in Africa like right now building iPhones, and like people blowing up in coal mines. There's children in harmful conditions that they should not be in. And even though I do think that children should start working at an early age, because if they can be on these tablets, baby, you can go make some money. Go make mommy some money. That's how I feel about it. But I do think conditions are important, and I've seen a lot of people make great points saying, like, you know, for that example, girl, she could have been at the front desk. She could have been passing out flyers. Like, you could have had that baby do anything else on earth. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to put her in between somebody's legs. Like, that's just so unsanitary. And I think it's so many different steps to take before you get there, you know, and age wise. Because I thought about it like, okay, what if she was like 14, 15, you know? I think that would make hell of a difference, because it's just certain things you gotta learn, man. Like, a pussy is not just a pussy either. Like, bro, put some respect on it. Come on now. Ain't no baby waxing no pussy around this bitch. That's just weird. Like, put some respect on yourself. Put some respect on your whole operation, you know. And yeah, I just think survival's fucked up. And I think that just opens up the conversation to, like, how black people have had to survive for so long. Because she truly posted it as if she was doing the right thing and she thought there was nothing wrong with it. Like, just like other moms that post, like, their babies half naked, even in a diaper, I think it's weird. Like, you know, there's just certain lines that you shouldn't cross. Pretty much the gist of everything for today. We're definitely going to get into it. I'm about to be so consistent. I'm about to be dropping because I got a lot of shit to say. And it's been so much going on. And the black community keep on taking L's. But we go equally talk about the wins as well. We go get into it, and I'm gonna come at y'all next week with some stories from some Detroit natives, as y'all would call us, I guess. Some people from Detroit. Thanks for watching the Bagg Talks. I'll talk to y'all next week. Love y'all. Peace.
Look, bitches looking stupid cause they fell in the law stuck. Never took an L, my baby, I only bossed up. Niggas think I'm rude cause they gotta pay the cost up. See you drop the ball, you try to shoot and then you toss up. Bitch, I got a plan and I got a lot of shit to do. Wanna call